having us too.
Yeah.
Jeremiah, you want to lead us off? Go for it.
So we may as well start with a health update and availability update. Albert, Alex.
Won't be going on the trip.
Okay, and what about how does Ryan look?
Ryan Kent? Well, he might be picking up his passport in Vancouver this afternoon. Might be tomorrow. So depending on that, we'll see if he makes it to Dallas.
And just, I don't know if you can get into this, but what he has to go to Vancouver to talk to the U.S. consulate, or how does that work?
I can't speak to that because they tell me certain things. I'm not the expert there.
Sure, fair enough.
But you have to go out of the country, come back, get your passport stamped, something along those lines. And Vancouver's the closest place out of the country.
Sure, yes.
What about Jordan?
Jordan's coming with me, and he's going to be great.
Brian, you guys head to Dallas, chance to rectify the momentum that the team finds itself in. What are some of the challenges that Dallas presents to you guys that are going to? Pardon me.
Acosta.
Other than Acosta, what are some of the challenges that excite you about putting together this squad?
Well, we're returning Pedro, returning Jordan, getting healthier in that sense. We took 2, but we're adding 2. If Kent does make it to Dallas, that'll be a little bit of excitement. But I think the training week has been good. I think the players understand the situation we're in, and we as coaches certainly tried to, drive training a little bit more.
Off of that comment, and not to get a better explanation, when you say the players understand the gravity that you guys find yourselves in, is there a sense of urgency that has then cropped up from previous years where you started off slow, but you've been able to rectify that?
A sense of urgency is a good way to put it. It's not panic, it's not, oh my God, drama, it's nothing like that. But those guys are pros, and they're good pros, and they've been successful for many years. And so that internal drive that they all have is what you see in situations like this.
Brian, do you need to establish some chemistry on the field? I'm asking the same question a different way than I asked the other day.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a set lineup and play the same guys, but we haven't had that opportunity, but it'll come soon.
In this situation, John Wooden said be quick but don't hurry. How do you get them to...
It's a good quote. I mean, look, we always like to control tempo. We understand that it's a game, and Dallas will have parts of the game, and we'll have parts of the game. And, I think the messaging there for the group was, we're a good team. We know how to play. Let's just make sure we execute. Because I think what's been failing us is we haven't made plays in the right moments, and we've given up some, maybe some bad decisions or poor play on the other end.
In terms of style and the changes that Dallas have had between players and coaching, what do you see? What do you expect out of Dallas in that sense?
Well, they have some good results, some mixed results, but obviously, one player makes a difference. The removal of a couple of stalwarts might make a little bit of a difference. A new coach certainly makes a difference. So what do I expect? Well, a little unsure. We watch them on tape, but again, you can't really feel and see until you really play against them up close. So first 5 minutes of the game, we got to be sharp. We got to be on top of things. We can't let anything go. Let's get into the game. So our team will be ready.
In terms of getting Jordan and Pedro back, how cautious, limit restriction? I mean,
There will be time limits on both players.
Brian, how important is it for your team not to play for anyone? Christian talked about that. Chasing the game.
Yeah, that's never okay. Certainly in years past, since Christian was up here, I mean, he was part of the game. We were down 3-0, come back 4-3, and I think he scored the winning goal, the 4th goal or the 3rd goal. There's another 3-3. It's never ideal, but we can overcome some adversity.
Brian, have you had a chance? Oh, sorry, Nico.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Brian, have you had a chance to try something fun to try to bring some sort of chemistry to the team in terms of maybe bringing a motivational speaker? Is that something that you believe in? Is that something
we've done that? Yeah, we've done that in the past. We've been pretty consistent with when we have to be serious on the training field, when we have to loosen it up a little bit. But we're open to all those ideas, and we've done a lot of that in the past.
And just to clarify, I wasn't saying that we witnessed you guys practice, and it's always serious. And I just want to make sure
Well,
that doesn't come off
the other day when the guys were right here and they were playing basketball, you guys all commented on what a great mood they were in, and we didn't play so well. So,
I didn't want to make
get
it
my
seem
point.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, facts.
Go ahead.
There was a report in the Sports Business Journal today that at the NBA or the MLS Board of Governors meetings in Chicago, that team executives and owners are discussing and possibly voting on a schedule change to go a summer through spring schedule. I wanted to get your thoughts on what your positive thoughts on a summer to spring schedule. Yeah.
Matching
Yeah,
interested.
yeah.
Well, look, that's way above my pay grade, but if you want my personal opinion, I mean, there's got to be challenges that have to be worked through, like the climate and the travel and stuff in the wintertime here in the United States. But if they can manage those and get those right, then it might make sense. But, you know, that's a lot of logistics to, you know, how are you going to play in, you know, Minnesota in January?
Would it make your job harder in that degree?
No. Maybe more fun. I don't know.
Brian, it's always great to get Jordan back, but moving forward, how concerning is it that the team, or your offense at least, has been so codependent of Jordan up top to be effective?
That's actually a really good question. I'm going to give you credit for that. That is one of the worrying signs that the next man up kind of saying that I like to use hasn't really manifested itself with this group of players. Now, what I would caution you about is it is early, okay? Still, you know, 34 games, it's only 7, so we're still early phase. If you want to include the CCC games, okay, maybe it's a little bigger chunk. Maybe there's some good data to look over. But yeah, I mean, we'll see if someone steps up this weekend because Jordan's on the minute restrictions, but it's a concern.
Brian, where is your tenacity and toughness on a 1 to 10 scale, and where do you need it to be? Just the grit, sometimes stopping in the transition, the guy at your point, slowing down the transition.
Well, my transition scale is always 10, if that's your highest. I mean, look, you can outplay teams, you can have better players, lesser players, whatever, but the work has to be done that's been the mantra of this team for a long time. So the grit, the determination, the never quit, the next guy up, all of those things has to be in there. So that's always a given. What I need for them in this game is to do, like John Wooden said, is to play, but don't put undue pressure on yourself. Just play how you know to play, and if each individual plays up to their potential, and then all of a sudden you get the groups like Yaimar and Jackson and Nuhu, a smaller group, and Christian and Jordan playing together, and then maybe the attacking 4 guys plus Jordan 6. Individually, it all starts there, then smaller groups, then collectively as a whole, we'll win some games.
You touched on it slightly, and Jesus Ferreira yesterday said that it won't feel real till he touches down, in Dallas. Is there going to be any sense of maybe communicating with him so he doesn't overpressure himself?
He's going to feel something. He's going to have emotions. He's been there for a long time. It's his home. It's been his home. But he'll get through it.
You mentioned Acosta. Thoughts on Musa and what the Dallas attack can do?
Musa and Acosta are really good players. I mean, they spent a lot of money on both of those guys. Musa's a big, tall, classic number 9. Acosta's a classic 10, moves all over the field. But you've got some experienced guys that have been playing pretty well. The new defender's okay. It's a good team.
Leo Chu as well.
Leo Chu. Don't forget Leo Chu.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.